Welcome back to Prophetic Perspectives. Today I again have Jon Moore, a young man who was able to go to Israel with me a couple of years ago. And today we want to talk about paying it forward. Your opportunity to help share your love for Israel, your anticipation of the Lord's soon return in the life of a young person. Jon, welcome back to Prophetic Perspectives.
Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. And today what I want to emphasize, Jon, is the way in which you were able to go to Israel. For those who don't know, Jon and another young man were able to go essentially at no cost to themselves because one of the supporters of our ministry said he had paid for a trip, was unable to go, and he wanted to pay it forward. He said, find a couple of young people and let them experience Israel firsthand. Jon, what kind of a blessing was that in your life and the other young man who accompanied you?
Oh, it was huge because there's no way on my own I would have been able to afford to go. And it's an experience that I'd always wanted to have. So just having that opportunity was amazing. And also to get to experience it with the other young man who was someone who is close to me as well. It was just absolutely wonderful. And I'm forever grateful to the man who provided that opportunity for us.
Now, some people would say, well, you know, when I get older, when I have kind of finished my working career or raised my children and saved up enough money, then I will go to Israel. Jon, what's the value of going as a young person, even before you've started that career and that family and all the other responsibilities of life?
At my age, it's really easy to get caught up in day-to-day life, and there's so many distractions around us. And just being able to step outside of the everyday life and the hustle and bustle to go to Israel and experience everything was an experience like no other. There's really no other way to get that perspective. And it's super impactful, both on just my life in general, but also my spiritual life. It was wonderful. And there's really no other way to, or nothing else to compare it to.
Well, obviously, we have always hearkened to the privilege we have as Christians, as believers, to bless Israel. And quite frankly, we also have the opportunity to bless others to be able to continue to bless Israel through their lives. And so, based on Jon's experience, we created here at Lamb Lion Ministries something called the Millennial Kingdom Scholarship, where we actually take a collection of dollars, donations, and we will scholarship young people, specifically millennials, to be able to go to Israel. We're planning to take 4 on our trip here in 2021. And so if you would have an interest in paying it forward, we would invite you to contribute to that fund, or even, frankly, to be able to send an individual, whether a family member, someone at your church, or to go with them if you want to accompany a grandchild, a granddaughter, grandson, and have that shared experience of pouring into their life and paying it forward. So Jon, just to kind of close out, what would you say to someone who would consider the possibility of either contributing to a scholarship or even taking a young person who is special to them in their own lives?
From my personal experience, like I said before, it's an experience like no other. And giving that opportunity to someone is really amazing. I wholeheartedly believe that it's worth it. In fact, I've contributed a little bit of money to the scholarship just because I wanted other people to have the same experience that I did. So it's totally worth it. If you have the means, absolutely do it, because it was life-changing for me, and I'm sure it would be life-changing for many others in my same situation.
Well, I know that this is an unusual prophetic perspective, but what we are encouraging you to do today is to share the perspective you have gained from God's Word, and perhaps even having gone to Israel to yourself, to share that perspective, the blessing the Lord has poured into your life, by paying it forward into the life of a young person. I hope you'll consider doing so. And until next time, this is Tim Moore with Jon Moore. Godspeed.